Hey guys, Stephen Kells RC. Today we are going over the best bang for your buck radio, and that is the Flysky GT5. This comes in between $63 to $70 depending on where you get it, and you get a whole radio and a receiver. Now don't mind my radio. Kind of broke, but we'll get to that in a minute. Now if you're buying just the receiver itself, it's 20 bucks. You can't beat this price. You honestly can't. These are 6-channel radio receivers right here, and let's just jump off the back and ask, how's its durability? Well, I've had this radio for just over almost 3 years now. I've dropped it, I fell on it, bumped it up against things, and it's held up pretty good. I guess after so many times, the mechanism inside the steering finally decided to bite the dust. That's okay, because we're going to get to something that makes one of a few things that I think makes it stand apart than just the price point. The radio is really nice, really comfortable in the hand. If I remember correctly, I do believe it did come with another back strap, so you can, if you got a smaller hand, you can have this smaller back strap, and it's real easy to put on. It's just a couple of tabs right there, and they just go inside the little slots along your handle. It's real easy, as you can see, to put in. You got all kinds of buttons here. You got your steering and your throttle. You got a switch right here that you can put lights or your winch or whatever you want on it. You got another one right here. It's kind of like a monetary switch, including this one. And then of course you got your 2 knobs right up here. And that's good for you guys that like 4-wheel steer and you'd rather have control like this than going into the mixing, because it does have a mixing setup in here. I've never used it. None of my rigs are 4-wheel steer. To bind it, it's real easy. We're going to go over that right quick, then I'll go into the radio itself. But you have a bind port at the very top. You just put a bind plug in it, and what you do when you go to bind it is you hold your bind button and it's ready to bind. Simple as that. You don't have to go through and all the settings to try to bind it. Don't mind the camera movement, that was my puppy. But the trigger and the steering do feel, for me, kind of mushy. It doesn't have a firmness to it. I'd like it to be a little bit firmer, but that's just me. Marley, I'm trying to do something important for my viewers. You want to come up and say hi? Come here. Come on. Sorry. This one is being rude. Say hi to everybody. Say hi. There you go. All right. Get down. Sorry about that. But like I said, that's just a personal preference on the trigger and the steering. I would like a little bit of firmness in there. As for everything else, one thing I forgot to before we actually get into it. It does take 4 AA's. The cool thing about this radio is, if you look right in there, that little red tab, JST, you can put a LiPo battery in there if you want, if you don't want to use a bunch of AA's. I usually just put in rechargeable AA's, and they do just fine. So let's pop these back in here. And power switch is really simple. One thing I do happen to run into from time to time is reset defaults. Sure, I just set back because I don't want it to go and ruin my setups, even though it's not hooked up to anything. But you have your model, you can go through and hit that, and that's basically, if I can, there we go. But once you name all of the different models that you have, you just scroll through it. Okay, let's reset the camera. Alright, you guys should be able to see that a little better. I guess my light's a little too bright, but you have your model right there. You just set that and you can scroll through all your different models, and you can store up to 20 on this radio. There we go. If you are adding a new one, you just go to name. Let's do this back, and you can change the name. That's odd, I can't get it to. Then you have your reverse, so if your throttle and steering are reverse, you can reverse it there. You got your EPA. It's very, very easy. Here's your sub trim right here. That's probably having a hard time showing you guys because the backlight's so bright. There we go. But you got your dual rates, your Expo, ABS, that's for your brake. You got your trims, got a fail-safe mode. This is the crawl mode, and you can go in here and you can have it do just front wheel steer. If we can get it in there, you can have it rear steer, crab, or opposing, and then off. And then SVC is your, if I remember correctly, like your AVC for like spectrum, and yeah, TQI, or I forget what it is for Traxxas, but yeah. Let me turn you guys back around. Alright, so gone over all of that. Like I said, it's been pretty durable. One problem I did have noticed is if I hit it hard enough, ain't doing it now, of course, it does beep at me. So it has done that quite a few times. Other than that, don't let it get too wet either. After a while, it will kind of start acting up on you. It's not really good to have in the rain, so learned that the hard way. Now if I ever use this again, it'll be in a trash bag. Now, one thing that sets this above the rest, in my personal opinion, I've looked on Spectrum's website to see if they have repair parts for their radios. Couldn't find any. Right before I started this video, I looked and could not even find the basic bolt-on repair parts you could do. But for Futaba's, I couldn't even find repair parts for it. And when I say repair parts, I'm talking like, I believe it's the springs inside here. And guys, I can go to Flysky's website. I can order the screen, the knobs, triggers, and all kinds of, and it's not just for this radio. They have a slew of repair parts that you can get for just about all of their radios. Now, at this price point, that's pretty good, considering the newest radio I've got now, the Spectrum DX5 Rugged. I can't find one repair part for it. If I'm paying $249 just for the radio, I should be able to do my own repairs if need be. Now, the only downside to the repair parts is it'll take anywhere between 10 to 35 days. It is a long wait time, but you can repair just about any of the Flysky radios, which is a huge plus in my book. So eventually I will repair this and it'll be like it never happened. It's just a simple plug and play kind of connector, and yeah, it's just unbolted, bolted back together. One thing I will definitely say about their packaging, from what I can remember, because it's been a while, the packaging tells me they are really serious about their product. When I got my new radio, it was nowhere packaged like the Flysky's. If I remember correctly, I believe it was like in a styrofoam. That tells me that they really care about this product and really want you to enjoy it as the end user. I mostly use this for crawlers. I have had this arm ascending before and it worked pretty good. The latency on it isn't going to be as fast as your more expensive brands, but it is fast enough that it gets the job done. That's why I say this is the best bang for your buck radio. Price point, features, even repair parts that other companies just don't do for their radios. And if you're wondering, can I get additional parts for these? Guys, I have seen people put all kinds of 3D printed gear. This is one of them. I do a lot of one-handed driving behind the camera. So yeah, they do make 3D printed parts. I've seen these things decked out. So if you're looking to get rid of your stock radios, definitely give Flysky a chance. Very budget friendly. I have very little bad to say about them. Hopefully this helps you guys make a decision on whether or not to get a Flysky GT5. I highly recommend them. Like, subscribe, catch you on the flip side.